think we are live. Alright, it's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live Q&A. This is going to be Q&A number 86. So, as you might know, there's going to be no Fear episode tonight. So I thought that we might as well just do a live stream Q&A video to fill up that time where we don't have Fear the Walking Dead. So, you know, it's just something that I put together or thought about last minute, actually on Friday night. And I told you all about it on Friday night live stream anyway, so here I am. Just gonna move the mic a bit closer here. We still have like 1 more minute until the live stream officially starts, because I did say 6 from my time, so it's like people are joining, which is great. No one's asked anything yet. Giuseppe De Rosa, hey Ash, hey Giuseppe, how are you? Glad you could join. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna quickly check a few things. See where the channel is standing in terms of questions or comments and stuff, because I usually don't get time to answer the comments. That's why these live stream Q&As are so great, because you know, you can just ask anything or say anything and I'll answer you right away. Because the comments, I've been keeping up to them or keeping track, but last few months, I would say, I just haven't been able to just reply to comments. I read all of them, but I just haven't had a chance to actually answer any of the comments. But you know, that's why these live streams, like I said, they're so great, because you can just say anything or ask anything and I'll answer you right away. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if some group in The Walking Dead had a nuke? That would be awesome. I mean, that would be kind of awesome, but at the same time, everyone's gonna die, right? So there's gonna be no more story to be told. Everyone's gonna die. Because it's not like they can go in bunkers or, you know, fly away, because there's no kind of resources for them to be able to do something like that. So if someone tries to do that, they're all gonna die. So Giuseppe De Rosa, what if we shot a nuke at the Saviors? Again, if Rick had a nuke and decided to use it, I think everyone's gonna die, so I don't think he would try anything like that. If they could get away and just nuke the place, you know, everyone's gonna, not everyone, but the whole place is gonna be destroyed anyway. So it's almost uninhabitable at that point. So it'll be kind of useless to do something like that. Giuseppe De Rosa, hopefully we get more people. Yeah, on the channel, or on the live stream, not on the channel. On the live stream, I think you mean. Yeah, definitely. It's still too early. I feel like usually takes people 15 minutes to actually join, so maybe they will shoot a nuke at the Commonwealth, lol. Yeah, again, they could, but everyone's gonna die, so at that point it's not even about survival anymore. It's about just they're gonna die, you know what I mean? My computer is making so much noise right now. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if you guys can hear. And I don't even have anything going on my computer right now. I don't know what's why it's doing this. Maybe it's the software I'm using for live stream that's messing it up right now. Anyway. But the Commonwealth is very far though. Yeah, but it's a nuke, right? It doesn't matter how far away it is. I'm pretty sure that a nuke is because they're not gonna know exactly how far it's gonna reach, right? So it's gonna be a risk either way. You're saying they could do it. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do something like that if I, was in a situation like that. But I don't know. I'm sure Rick wouldn't do it either. And if they had something like that, then I'm sure they would have other resources that they could use not to use a nuke. You know what I mean? They could just drop a bomb in the place or something. If they really wanted to do that. Seems like no one's really joining yet, so we'll see how things turn out. Giuseppe Da Rosa, do you think Rick will take over the Commonwealth? Will Rick take over the Commonwealth? That's difficult to say because the Commonwealth have so much people in terms of numbers. They have a lot of what do you call it? Soldiers and like lieutenants and top military, not military, but top lieutenants there, aside from the leader. So that's not going to be a battle that Rick wants to fight, I don't think. Because the Commonwealth has way more people than the Saviors do, than the Whisperers even do. So I don't think that Rick will be able to take them on. Rick wasn't able to really take on the Saviors or the Commonwealth by himself with even the people that he had, the different communities. It was a big fight. It went right to the last, I would say, minute of the war. So I don't think that Rick has the not only resources and the people, but also um, the ability to take the risk to go to war with this big community. Because again, not all of them are fighters. So again, there's that bit of gray area where they're not bad people. They're just people living in that community. And there's also all of those soldiers. So imagine how he felt, at least in the show, what we saw when he wanted to attack the Saviors. He was always thinking about what if there's other people in there that are innocent. That's going to be 3 times as hard for him to do something like that for the Commonwealth, because there's at least, I would say 4 or 5 times even more people at the Commonwealth than there was at the Sanctuary. So I don't think that's where Rick wants to go, to be honest. Giuseppe Da Rosa, do you think we'll get the Commonwealth in the show? Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to skip over it. They might remix it in a way, but I don't think they're going to, skip over that whole story arc. Who's bigger, the Saviors or the Whisperers? I think they're two different groups. Like, if you want to think about like who's the hardest to deal with as a leader, I would say the Whisperers, because they have the walkers to their advantage. You know, they could use the walkers to their advantage to do some big damage. And it's not like they're actually going to the front lines and fighting. They're fighting by pushing the walkers towards the communities. You know what I mean? So if you think about it that way, the Whispers are a bigger challenge to deal with. Even though in the comics they were a bit underwhelming in terms of how they were utilized, in my opinion, the war just seemed way too short and way too underwhelming, and there wasn't enough reward. There was, I would say it was a bit of a disappointment. But if they did them right, then the Whisperers would have been a way bigger challenge for Rick and the survivors than the Saviors were. What if all the groups we have seen combined and fought the Commonwealth? LOL. Then, they might be evenly numbered, I would say. No, even at that point, I don't think it'll be even, but it'll be somewhere close to that even, close to even, area. I'm not making any sense, but you know what I mean. Giuseppe De Rosa, hopefully the Whisperer War will be good in the show. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've said this before, but I don't want to hype myself up and have this big expectation of the Whisperer War, and it's just not going to deliver. Because I had the same thing with the All Out War story arc, and I was disappointed. So I don't want to go that route again. So there is a good opportunity for them to do that, to make the Whisperer War great in the show, and I would love to see it. But I'm just not gonna, hype myself up and expect it to a point, or expect so much to a point where I'm gonna be disappointed. Giuseppe De Rosa, how many years do you think the time jump will be? I think it'll be maybe 2 years, like the comics. I think, yeah, in the comics it was 2 years, or maybe a bit less. I don't think they're gonna do more than 2 years. I don't think they're gonna do less than 1 year. So it's gonna be between that 1 to 2 year area, I would say. Just gonna check something real quick here. Alright. No idea what's going on with my computer here, but let me see. There we go. Alright, I am back. Giuseppe De Rosa, All Out War was good. It was just stretched out too much. It was good, but in a sense, they did skip over a few things that I really wanted to see, like bombing of the Alexandria community. They rushed over it a little bit. They kind of skipped over that whole scene, or that whole scenario where, or not scenario, but that whole thing where Negan is playing ping pong with the Saviors. It's a small thing, but that was a great part of the story as well. We didn't see that. We didn't see a lot of the Negan, not only the dialogue because they can't do that, but some of the Negan speeches from the comics. So, that was kind of a disappointment. Also, I felt like it was filled with Rick's speeches and just motivational speeches, and not a lot of actually payoff for the story that we had in terms of, giving us some sort of reward and making it feel like it's an actual war. It seemed like they didn't actually fight. There was not a lot of face-to-face encounter between them until the very last fight. Everything else was just small little skirmishes. But in the comics, it felt different. It felt like it was constantly, boom, boom. There's people, there's going to be fight, there's going to be a fight, everyone's there. It's chaos, chaotic. We could lose any of our main characters, it's crazy. In the show, it didn't feel like that. So I feel like not only was it stretched, but also I feel like they skipped over a few things that was so great in the show or in the comics that they could have utilized in the show. Ada De Rosa, hey, how are you? Ada De Rosa. I just noticed Giuseppe De Rosa, Ada De Rosa. I don't know if you know each other, but that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. Giuseppe De Rosa, LOL. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. What are the chances of that if you guys don't actually know each other? There are 4 people watching. I said, it's going to take 15 minutes for people to join. I was kind of right because there's more people now joining, which is great. One other thing that I did want to really do in this Q&A is do some predictions for Fear the Walking Dead for the next 2 episodes. What do you guys think we're going to see? I mean, I have a few theories, but everything seems so chaotic right now in Fear. There's a lot of stuff happening that it's tough to kind of predict what's actually going to happen or go down in the next 2 episodes. But, one of the main things that I think we're going to see in this first half is, see how the baseball community, baseball diamond, baseball community just gets destroyed or they lose it, how they lose it. I think we're going to see that in the next 2 episodes. And it might also be revealed in the next 2 episodes what's going to happen or what happened with Naomi, why she turned into a vulture, what made her do that. And, we might get a few more reveals in terms of her story. I've done a few, or I did one prediction kind of video where I talked about John and Naomi and, the vultures and everything. I did mention that in there, but I think that's going to be the other thing that we might get a reveal on for this next 2 episodes. We also will definitely see what happens with John, whether he's going to make it. I think he's going to make it, but there's a chance he might not. But we're probably going to see that in this next 2 episodes. And we might even see you know, what happens with Madison. Is she alive? Is she dead? They might stretch that out until later, or later on in the second half, but you know, we might get more reveals about that. But that's what I think is going to happen in the next 2 episodes in terms of a prediction about the next 2 episodes. Steven Jackson Films. Hey, how are you? Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think season 9 will be good? I think it'll be different. It'll definitely feel fresh, in my opinion, because not only are the characters kind of different, they look different. It's a time jump. It's a big kind of new beginning story arc, but I feel like it's gonna be a different type of show. It's gonna feel like a fresh start, which is gonna be great. So will it be good? I think there's a very good chance it's gonna be good. It also depends on the new showrunner, you know, what she has in mind. But yeah, I think there's a very good chance it'll be a great season, or a good season. I don't want to say great. Steven Jackson Films, do you think Rick is a bad leader? Sometimes I do think he's a bad leader, but overall, I think he's a good leader overall. Steven Jackson Films, who is a better leader, Maggie or Madison? We haven't really seen Madison or Maggie really lead, but I would say Madison, because Maggie hasn't really been a leader so far. You know what I mean? She hasn't really had to make any leadership type of decisions. She's had to make a few, but it's not so big that, or it's not so critical. The decisions she has to make are not so critical that you say that makes her a good leader or that makes her a bad leader. So the only one thing, I take that back. The only big thing that she did was send a big message to Negan by killing one of the saviors, putting him in the coffin, sending him to the saviors as a message. That was one of the biggest decisions she had to make. Was it a good decision? Was it a bad decision? I think it could have gone in a bad direction. She was lucky, I would say. So is she a bad leader? No, she just hasn't had to really be a leader, in my opinion. But same goes with Madison. We haven't really seen her lead really that much. But in terms of who's a better leader, I would say Madison, because we've seen her be more of a leader than Maggie, I would say. Animated Alex, do you think walkers will be a threat in season 9? Definitely, for sure. With the storyline coming up in season 9, that's definitely, part of the story, for sure. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A, hey Ash, how do you feel about Althea as a character? Hey, Althea as a character, she's an interesting character, I gotta be honest. But her whole, what's your story, filming everything is getting kind of annoying and repetitive at this point. But she's overall very interesting and unique character, I would say. What I want to see with her, great what she's done so far with her story, being a journalist and everything and being unique, like I said, and everything. But I feel like now she needs to, kind of do something not very different, but do something different. I don't want her to only be this journalist that always asks, what's your story? I want her to, do something more interesting now that she has developed this kind of journalism, unique characteristic. You know what I mean? She's built that up so far. It's great. Let's see something different with her. I don't want her to eliminate all of that journalism stuff. She could still do that, but I also want her to do other stuff as well. Giuseppe De Rosa, which are your favorite soccer teams in international and club? International, I would say Germany, Spain, Argentina, top 3. Club, Real Madrid, which, they are the champions, woohoo. Barcelona, second pick, and third pick, Bayern Munich. My top 3 clubs. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A, hey Ash, do you think Morgan will ever return to The Walking Dead? I do think he's going to come back, because I feel like if they're going to kill him, he has to be on the original show to die. So I definitely think they're going to have him come back at some point in the future, not anytime soon. I would say maybe season 5, later on in season 5 of Fear, which would be like season 10 of The Walking Dead. They're going to bring him back, and they might keep him around for half a season or a season and then kill him off. But I definitely do think they're going to bring him back. Steven Jackson Films, do you think we'll ever see another crossover to Fear? There's a very good possibility, yes. I think we might see the other way as well. A Walking Dead character a Fear the Walking Dead character going into The Walking Dead. So I think we're going to see maybe more of that merged kind of story and crossover type of storyline in the future as well. Animated Alex, it would feel like the old Walking Dead. Yes, walkers being a threat. I think that's what you're referring to. Yeah, I think that's what's been missing a little bit during All Out War. So I definitely want to see a bit of that again coming up in season 9. And I'm very not only interested but excited for it as well. Giuseppe De Rosa, my favorite are Argentina, Italy, and USA. Argentina, yes. Italy, I'm not too fond of Italy, and the US, not really. I'm not really a fan of the US as a soccer team. Giuseppe De Rosa and Club Juventus. Juventus is okay. I love Buffon. That's the only thing. Buffon, I love him. He's been one of my favorite goalkeepers to watch and to see perform. So, yeah, for Juventus, I would say Buffon. That's the only thing. And he had his last game, I think. Was it last game he played or the next game he's going to play or something like that? So, yeah, I feel like, the world of football or soccer is going to miss a great player. So, yeah, but in terms of Juventus, they're okay. And you say, and Roma. I'm not a big fan of Roma. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A, hey, how long can you see Morgan surviving? Is he a long-term survivor? Morgan, I don't think is a long-term survivor. I don't think there's much more story for him. We've seen Crazy Morgan. We've seen kind of balanced Morgan. We've seen All Life is Precious Morgan. Where else can they take Morgan? You know what I mean? There isn't a lot of other avenues for Morgan they could, explore in terms of his character and what he has been through or what he does. So because of that, I don't see him be a long-term survivor because I feel like anything they do with him now is going to feel a bit repetitive. Now with the crossover, that's definitely a new thing, a very interesting new thing. But then now they don't really have anything else going for them because they did the crossover, that's it. Now, they could bring him back and then what are they going to do with him? There isn't really much more story for him. So because of that, I don't think that he's a really long-term survivor. I would say he might survive a few more seasons, maybe 2, maybe 3, but I don't think he's going to be there until the end. Amin Za, hello, how are you? Glad you could join. Steven Jackson Films, do you think season 9 will feel darker? Darker and grittier, in my opinion. Not grittier, I don't know how to say this, but not only darker, but more raw. And you feel like that's crazy, Whoa, that's something we've never seen before. Something like that. For comic readers, you know exactly what I mean. Animated Alex, it would have been cool to see Nick go to The Walking Dead. It would have been, but in one way, we've seen a lot of characters like Nick on The Walking Dead, so it feels like repetitive in my opinion if you have a character like Nick going into The Walking Dead, because he is kind of like what Morgan was, he's kind of like what Call was, he's kind of like what other characters like the Governor were in terms of being twisted and everything, not as villainous as the Governor, but being twisted. So I feel like it would have been initially cool, but it would have felt like there isn't really anywhere they could take this character. And if they made Nick into what he is now, or what he was in season 4 in The Walking Dead, it would still feel repetitive because we have a lot of characters like him that are kind of not wanting to go out, are scared of going out there and things like that. So it would feel a bit like repetitive, I would say. Giuseppe De Rosa, sadly, that can't happen no more. Yeah, because he's dead. Light God 264, what's the meaning of life? I can't answer that for you. I'm sorry. Steven Jackson Films. Gotta go. Love the vids. Thank you for joining and supporting the channel. Hopefully I'll see you in the next live stream. Animated Alex, I hope we see more supply runs in season 9. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I think is missing. We saw a great deal of it in season 5 and season 4. They kind of stopped doing that in season 6 and 7 and 8. Season 6 there was a bit, but not too much. But I feel like that's what's missing for this to feel like still a zombie apocalypse. Because it feels at this point, it's just conflict all the time. They're in their communities. They might, get attacked by walkers or people, but that's it. The stories feel a bit repetitive at this point. So I want to see something where they are going out there, they are exploring what's out there, and for us to see, what's happening around, not only the area, but the country, seeing what everyone's up to, and having a broader picture of the apocalypse than what we've seen so far. Giuseppe De Rosa, you should do more movie reviews, you would attract more fans. Yeah, I've been thinking of that, but the only thing, my movie reviews don't get a lot of attraction or attention, so that's why I kind of stopped doing them. Light God 264, damn it, goodbye, goodbye. Thank you for joining and asking questions. I hope, hopefully I'll see you in the next live stream, during the next live stream. Giuseppe De Rosa, you think we'll see the city again? Way down the line, I would say, if we get to the Commonwealth, that's probably when we will see it, because we did see it in during the Commonwealth story as well, or when they were introduced. Animated Alex. Rick hasn't rode a horse since season 1. Yeah, that's very true. And he is riding a horse in season 9, which we've seen with the pictures. So yeah, that's definitely cool. Giuseppe De Rosa, will we ever see another country in The Walking Dead, not including Mexico, like Europe or Asia? Probably not. Unless they do a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a new show, like a spin-off. That's the word. If they do a spin-off, yeah, we could definitely see Walking Dead in the universe of The Walking Dead in Europe or Asia or anywhere else. But not in The Walking Dead's original. Giuseppe De Rosa, why do you think Asia and Africa are so bad at soccer? Like they have never won a World Cup. Because Europeans are just so good, and South American teams are just so good. That's the only reason I would say. Giuseppe De Rosa, they not bad, just not good enough. Yeah, I don't think they're good enough as some of the top teams like, Argentina, Brazil, even Mexico, and then in Europe, Spain, Portugal, Germany, France, England, teams like that. They're not as good. I do think it's getting a lot more competitive in terms of those teams and Asian teams and African teams, but there's still a long way to go. Giuseppe De Rosa, will we see an African team win a World Cup? Not in a while, not for a long time, I would say. Or Asian, yeah, not for a long time, I would say. Animated Alex, Alicia, hot but a bitch. Kind of agree. But the first part, at least. Giuseppe De Rosa, will we ever see a tsunami in The Walking Dead? LOL. I would love to see, a natural phenomena like that. Like a tsunami, like maybe a storm, something like that. We kind of saw that in season 5 when they were all in the barn, but they rushed through it. So I would love to see that. It would feel fresh, the story, and it would feel like it's other or something other than walkers or a human threat. You know what I mean? Giuseppe De Rosa, maybe near Oceanside. Yeah, near Oceanside, that would be the perfect place for them to do a story like that. Giuseppe Da Rosa, Alicia, and Strand can hold Fear the Walking Dead by itself, so Madison better be alive. Can hold Fear the Walking Dead by itself, so Madison better be alive. Yeah. Oh, I think you mean can't. That would make more sense. Alicia and Strand can't hold Fear the Walking Dead by itself, so Madison better be alive. I think those 3 characters, or 4 characters, Danielle would be one as well. Danielle, Strand, Alicia, and Madison at this point, they are the forefront of Fear the Walking Dead. If they go, any one of them, well, Daniel is kind of gone, but he's not really dead. But I think, let's say 2 of them. If 2 of them go, it's done. The show is done, I would say. Yeah, Giuseppe De Rosa can't. Yeah, I got that one. And then you say LOL. Animated Alex, do you think Daryl will permanently wear the bandana? No, I think he's gonna go back and forth. Because he's wearing the bandana now, he was wearing it in season 4. He might wear it for like a season, and then next season he might not wear it all the time, or why not wear it at all, and then he'll go back and forth. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Daryl will be more interesting in season 9? I hope so. He's not been as interesting in the recent years as I wanted him to be, so I hope he gets more interesting. I feel like anything they do with Daryl is just the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like the same repetitive thing over and over again. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if out of nowhere Japan wins the World Cup? That would be interesting. Giuseppe De Rosa, I think Angela Kang will make The Walking Dead great again. Let's hope so. And just the sentence, make The Walking Dead great again, just made me, laugh a little bit. If she's gonna make The Walking Dead great again, like Trump made America great again, then I don't have high hopes. Animated Alex, what if Simon won against Negan? Then the war wouldn't end, I would say. The war wouldn't end, and things might not look so good for the survivors at this point. Because Negan was, I would say, a bit more reasonable than Simon. Giuseppe De Rosa, I love The Walking Dead, best show on TV in my opinion. Yeah, I would say it's been a great show, but in recent years, that's questionable. But it's still my favorite show, I would still watch it, but I'm just saying in recent years it hasn't been as good as it used to be. Giuseppe De Rosa, season 4 to 6 were The Walking Dead's prime. Season 4 to 6, yeah, completely agree. Season 5 and first half of 6, I would say. No, not even the first half of 6. I would say, yeah, 5 and 6, they were the prime. Yes, 4 on and off. Alright, I'm going to test something here real quick because I just noticed this. There is these different options on the stream. One is, the three options. One is change thumbnail, which obviously changes the thumbnail. The other is create highlight. I think that's, just creating a highlight for later. Creates a video highlight of this stream or whatever. And there's something called play ad. So I know what the change thumbnail does, but I want to test out the other two things. So, because the questions are getting kind of, they're dying down a little bit, I'm going to try the other two options to see what they do. So, yeah, let me just try these. Just bear with me here a bit because I'm just, doing trial and error here. I don't know what it does. So let me just test it out here real quick. All right, so... yeah, so I'm just going to, it's making a highlight from here to, I don't know when. I have to press it. Yeah, let's see. Let's just do that. Let's test this out. See what it does. Yeah, it's creating a video in my video manager. So that might have created a highlight. So I might do that. I might, I can do that. I can say it from this time to this time, create a highlight. So I might start doing that as well. So people that can't join the live stream will be able to get the highlights of the stream or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to test that out next time. Yeah, let's see what the last option does. The play ad. I think it's going to play an ad right now. Yeah, let's see how that actually works. Does it stop the stream or how does that actually work? Just testing things out here. Sorry about that, guys. It says keep on streaming, so I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna jump right back or something like that. But, alright, I'm gonna jump back into the questions. Alright, I'm gonna jump back into the questions. Let me know what happened when I actually pressed the play ad thing. Did it stop the video or the stream and then came back, or what happened? Because I want to know for, later on as well. Giuseppe De Rosa, who's the best player of all time? Best player of all time? I see you say it's Pele at like your last comment. I haven't seen Pele play, so I don't know. I mean, he was the greatest player, I would say, but the players that I remember playing that were great, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, even, players like Maradona. I haven't really seen him play like Pele, but, another one that we might want to throw in there. Players like, I would say, yeah, Henry from France, definitely up there. Messi, Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, new ones. Yeah, so some of them those are some of the players. But greatest of all time, yeah, I think you're right. Pele, Maradona, players like that. But more recent players, Ronaldinho is definitely up there. Zidane, I forgot. Zidane is definitely up there. Luis Figo. Who else? Roberto Carlos. I can go on and on, but Animated Alex, who do you think will be the reunion at the Commonwealth? Very good question. I don't think it'll be Michonne and her daughter. I think it'll be different. Who could it be? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think they might have to remix that a little bit. If I have to make a prediction right now, since it's so early, because it's like 2-3 more seasons, right? But I would say if it's not a new character, then from the characters we already know, it might be someone like, yeah, it's a tough one. Maybe Carol. Maybe Carol, I would say. That might fit. Giuseppe De Rosa, can Argentina win the next Copa America? Hopefully, you know. They've been fighting for it, right? So I hope they get it. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Ezekiel live longer than the comics? Probably not. I hate to say it, but probably not. Animated Alex, Rick's brother, maybe. For the reunion, could be. I mean, if Rick's brother's story is the same, then it doesn't really make sense. He was in Europe. How does he end up in, Ohio, I think. Yeah, Ohio and the Commonwealth, if they end up doing the same thing. So if they're going to change that, yeah, that would obviously be one of the greatest ones to do. But if it's the same and he was in Europe, Rick's brother, I mean, then it doesn't really make sense. Or it could, but they just have to, explain it a little bit. Giuseppe De Rosa, how will The Walking Dead end? I don't know. I can't really think of anything at the moment. But the two cliches I don't want to see is them finding a cure and Rick being the last man standing. Those are two cliches I don't want to see. Animated Alex, if he has one in the show. Yeah, the brother thing. Yeah, assuming he has a brother in the show. Animated Alex, Morales didn't make sense. No, he didn't. Fan service. Definitely fan service. And not for me, because I didn't want him to come back. So, fan service for those that wanted him back. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Carol ever die? Yes, she will. She might be a death in in season 9 with the introduction of the Whispers. Comic readers, you know what I'm referring to, what scene I'm referring to. So she might be in a lineup kind of thing, like we see in the comics. I don't want to give too much away. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think they will chill with the deaths this season? Nope, probably not, because there's a kind of story that's going to be coming up in the next 2 seasons. I don't want to be too specific so it doesn't spoil it, but in the next 2 seasons, there's going to be something coming up where it's going to be death heavy. It's going to be death heavy. And I mean death heavy. So, yeah. Multiple deaths. Let's just say that. And not all of them will be main characters, but they will definitely be some main characters. Animated Alex, they can't keep killing main characters. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think Walking Dead does it better than Fear. Because Fear, they keep killing main characters every 2-3 episodes. So it's like, come on. But in The Walking Dead, they are keeping characters longer and making us feel attached to the characters before they kill them off, which is great. For main characters. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think they will break off from the comics for at least the 2 last seasons? They might. Game of Thrones did something like that, I think, so they might do that as well. Most likely that's what's going to happen. I don't think The Walking Dead's comic ending is going to be the exact same as The Walking Dead's TV show ending. Those are probably going to be 2 different endings. Giuseppe De Rosa, if they want to keep The Walking Dead going on for a long time, they gotta stop killing main characters. Or introduce more characters that can turn into main characters. Animated Alex, do you think we will see Daniel in The Walking Dead for shock value? I doubt it though. Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Alright, we've been going for like 54 minutes here, so we might end up the stream in a few minutes here. It's been a great stream so far. It started off kind of slow, but it picked up, definitely. But there's only 2 people asking questions, 2 people online right now, or watching, so there's still that bit of it, but you know, it definitely did pick up a little bit than what we started with. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Daryl ever die? Probably not, but I hope so. And that's not because I don't like the character, I just think that his death would be one of the biggest deaths in the show. And it might make the show feel interesting again in a way. And even for shock value, it will be great. And I don't think, like I said before, I said earlier in the stream, there isn't too much interesting stuff they have done with Daryl so far in the last couple seasons. So I feel like his story is getting kind of repetitive, kind of bland. So I hope that they do something interesting with him or kill him. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Rick ever die? Yes, eventually. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Negan ever die? Yes, eventually. Animated Alex, Carl's death proved Lori wrong. Can you expand on that? I don't see what you mean exactly. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if they went back to the prison? Oh, I think you mean when she said you're gonna be the last person stand alive or something? Yeah, in those terms, yeah. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if they went back to the prison? LOL. It's so far away that it's probably destroyed at this point. It's probably filled with walkers at this point. It was destroyed, right? So, yeah. Alright, so rapid questions here. Last 2 minutes. So ask as many things as you want or want me to answer. Last 2 minutes. I would call this rapid questions. Just quick. Animated Alex, The Walking Dead is dope. Yes, I agree. Giuseppe De Rosa, will we ever see a season without Rick? Probably not. Well, until he dies, right? After, if they continue, obviously, yeah, we will. Giuseppe De Rosa, like he dies? Yeah, I think he will eventually die. Not anytime soon, but eventually. Giuseppe De Rosa, if Rick dies, would Daryl be the leader? Now, right now, if Rick dies, who would be the leader? I don't think there will be a leader. I think it'll be a fight for who's gonna lead. Not like a civil war or something like that, but I think there's a lot of egos, a lot of people wanting to not lead, but wanting to just break off, in a way, in a sense, without Rick. I can't see anyone really leading after Rick right now. Animated Alex, can't wait for Fear next week. Yes, same. I think it's going to be a great episode. I think it'll be 2 back-to-back episodes, if I'm not wrong. The episode 7 and the mid-season finale, episode 8. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Daryl is the second most important character in the show? No, I don't. I don't think there is a second character, or second important character. Rick is first, I would say, because, you know, we started with him. But after that, everyone's, I would say, in the same line. Not everyone, but Carol, Daryl, on the same, you know, Maggie on the same kind of line in terms of importance, I would say. And some others as well. Giuseppe De Rosa, will we ever see another Walking Dead comic spinoff? Probably not. Not a comic spinoff. Maybe a Walking Dead spinoff, yeah. Well, I guess it'll be the same kind of thing, but not in the short term, I don't think. Giuseppe De Rosa, how many issues will we have in the Walking Dead? We have when Walking Dead ends. It's gonna continue. It's gonna keep going. I don't think the comics is gonna end anytime soon. All right, one more minute, and that'll be the end. I know I said like 2 minutes, 5 minutes ago, but only one more minute. Animated Alex, I think around season 10 they will plan to end the show, I feel like. They might, but at the same time, I don't think AMC is going to want to end the show. They're going to try to milk it as long as they can. Alright, that's it for this live stream Q&A. It was a great one. You know, not a lot of people, but great questions from the two people that were asking questions, Animated Alex and Giuseppe De Rosa, and earlier on when we had the other people on. But, you know, thank you all of you, and specifically you two for this stream, for you know, joining the stream, asking questions, supporting the channel. I appreciate it, absolutely. And, you know, I hope to see you all again next stream as well. But yeah, that's it for this live stream Q&A. I will see you all next time.